Hello, Beasties. It is Halloween time, and that means Halloween makeup. Don't need much for this costume, so it is Maleficent on a budget. So to create that Maleficent look, first we're going to need to pale up the skin a little bit. It's 100 Ivory N. Now you really want to dot all over until you look like an alien, then you know you're doing it right. And then you can start blending. Angelina Jolie features I do not possess. With the help of contouring, we can make it work, we can make it happen. So I'm going to take this brush. This is the Real Techniques brush, a setting brush. So the Anastasia, this is the light to medium, and we're using just this cool brown tone right here. Now with Angelina, obviously, these were some crazy cheekbones they had going on. We're gonna feel out right underneath here, and I'm gonna sculpt right underneath. And not only am I gonna sculpt out right here and bring it down because she has a very powerful jaw. That's when I have almost no product on my brush, by the way. The focus is gonna be here, so wherever you, after you reload your brush, wherever you put your brush down, that's where the most color is going to deposit. You guys probably already knew that, didn't you? You're so smart. Then when there's not as much product, then you can go straight down. But not only am I going to do that, but I'm gonna bring it in here, and look what that's creating. That's creating that line where her cheekbone would come out. And we're gonna highlight that in just a second. I'm just going to shade that really well. And then from about where my brows used to be, I'm gonna go straight up. You see those angles that we're creating right there? So now I wanna look at Angelina's nose. She does have a slender nose, however, she is a lot wider here than I thought that she was. So I'm gonna make it a little bit wider and then bring it down more into a point. I'm using that same color, but I'm taking a different brush now. This is the MAC 239 brush. As you come further down, you can come a little bit more in. You think I'm referencing Angelina Jolie, don't ya? Nope, look at that. I don't know how many years ago this was. Loved it. I'm only praying it turns out as well as I did it before. We shall see. Now we're gonna prime the eyes. I'm using Soft Ochre by MAC. Make sure where you've done your eyebrows, and by the way, I use just Elmer's glue and powder. If you wanna see any of how to take your eyebrows off kind of thing, I do have a video for that. I will link it down below. But just make sure when you're going over that part with your primer, just try to pat instead of smear, just so we don't take anything off. Something that I have found, as soon as you're done priming your eyes, sometimes if you put eyeshadow directly onto that primer, it just kind of gets a little ruddy. So I take that big fluffy brush, any loose powder that you have, go over both sides of that, and then the eyeshadow that you put on will still stay a long time because you put a primer on, but won't stick when you're trying to put it on. It'll glide on beautifully because it's powder on powder. So we're gonna take Omega from MAC, again, a very cool toned brown that we want to use on our eyes to create some shadow. Just doing windshield wiper motions across the eye. But she has a lot of lid space, and so I'm kind of putting it a little, I'm erring more on the side of going above my crease than right on my crease. And I'm leaving it open over here, as you can see, because I'm going to add it in to this here, and that will give us that opened look that she has. The more you layer your eyeshadow, the more you can make it look three-dimensional. So I'm using the same exact eyeshadow color, but I'm putting more right here than I did up here, and it almost looks like it's a deeper color, but it's not. We're tricking people, we're layering. This is Handwritten by MAC, and this time I'm erring more on the side of going toward the lid. then up toward the brow bone. Again, when there's not as much product, kind of sweep that out to the side. And this brush is discontinued. This is Gorgeous Gold from MAC. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use one of my craft store brushes. You can go to my blog and you'll see my list of craft store brushes that you can buy. Fraction of the cost, same natural goat hair fibers, like it's amazing. Bam! Now I'm going to grab a peachy kind of color. MAC comes out with tons of different ones all the time. The one I'm using, it says it's Tete Tint. I'm not sure if that one's available anymore. Bamboo is another one that they have. Bamboo is another one they have. Just anything somewhat peachy. But we're leaving that inner corner bare because I do want to put more of like a bone color in there, okay? Now I want to tackle the brows because I look weird. I'm grabbing these awesome color pencils from ColourPop Cosmetics that I absolutely love. I am going to use Black and Brown and Bang & Brunette. Let's see how we do here. This is the true test of an artist. Just so that this remains nice and dark and not all the same color, I've got the lighter color, Bang & Brunette, just for the front pieces. I didn't use the spoolie before on the outside because it's not really hair, but I'm gonna do it on the inside, just softens it a little tiny bit. This one is the dark brown, and I love this because they have a dual side. So I'm gonna use the darker brown on this outer part. I'm gonna wipe off my brush just a teeny tiny bit so that I can go into that lighter color. I'm just gonna be doing stroke-like hairs. Hair-like strokes. Did anybody else catch that? And our Angelina brows are done. Moving on. Back to brows. Let's just put this on real quick. This is the Marc Jacobs Brow Gel. It's like hairspray for your brows. They will stay in place. No need to use it on the glued section. It's already glued in place. For our eyeliner, we are going to be armed with two tools. Any dark brown that you want, doesn't matter what, and an angled brush. Just so you know, I'm using Makeup Forever 2L. This is the Aqua Eyes. I'm just pulling ever so gently. Lucky for me, this does not need to be a straight line, but because it's waterproof, don't go onto the other eye until you've smudged this because it'll set, it'll lock, you can't budge it. Oh no, a Dave Ramsey girl just said you can't budge it. Take this brush, doesn't matter that there's stuff still on it, and smudge it out. Bam. Now I'm going to put on a coat of mascara. You can be putting on the cheapest mascara in the world. It doesn't matter because we're going to be putting false lashes on. As for me in my house, it's just the CoverGirl. Before I do any mascara on the bottom lashes, I want to just get the eyeshadow on there. So I'm gonna use that dark chocolate brown that we used before, the Handwritten. I'm gonna go right up to the lash line. Her eyes are a little bit more open and wide than mine. So we are going to take not a white pencil, I don't love using white, and I'm going to grab, I think this is Rimmel, yeah. Rimmel, Scandalous Eyes, Waterproof, Nude. I like doing this before the mascara because some of it gets into your lashes, and the mascara can cover that up. But now we are going to try to highlight a little bit more. So I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in Fair Beige. Be careful on those cheekbones. We want a very severe line, so don't blend it in too much to to what we've already done down here. We really want this to stand out. And remember, we also did a line right here, so don't mess that up. But right in the center. I've zoomed you in a little bit more so that we can really see how we can change our lips. I am using this cherry lip liner from MAC. Something I've noticed about her is she has a very open Cupid's bow as opposed to mine, which is a little bit closer together. So we're gonna create that by just making these 2 points a little bit further apart. On the bottom, we are going to come closer in and then come out to create a bigger lip on the bottom. I'm gonna leave this little center part a little bit bare so that it will give us more of a plump look once we put on our lipstick. I have this cute little baby version of Russian Red. It is also a matte color and it is just beautiful. I know, you've been having so much fun, but this is truly the fun part. So, the Wolf paint that I love, 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 I have found that this is the best water-activated body paint because it's buildable and it is so incredibly thick. I adore it. So I'm gonna take a brush like this, and that's what we're gonna paint it on with. But if you're a little bit hesitant, a little bit worried about like just going at it, use a white, just normal eyeliner pencil and kind of sketch out where you want it to be. Like tiny little things, little wispies. Then we're gonna kind of come around the side here. And her headpiece does not come in like this. It just comes straight down. But because we want this to stand out like crazy, crazy cool, we are gonna come in a little bit more, okay? So we're gonna come in right there. And this is really gonna make it seem like it comes out. So meet that line, do you see that? Right where we kind of came up? We're gonna meet that right there, okay? Just take a brush, a little tiny bit of water. Like I said, it's water activated. And then it gets all wet. Nice thing about this is when it dries, it's just like this. It's not gonna smudge. It's not gonna get all over the place. So it's an awesome paint to use for Halloween. We're just gonna paint. So use this for the bulk work and then that smaller brush for a detail to kind of make it a little bit more straight at the top. Here's the cheap Jen coming out. I didn't want to spend like 30 bucks on the whole like headpiece that they had. So I got the kid one and it's a little headband. Like her eyes and her everything. Wanted to, you could grab this brush again and get a little bit of the black and kind of right in the middle, not the whole entire thing, but more so in the middle or toward the bottom. Put a tiny bit more in there. The more layers you add to your makeup, I think the more amazing it looks. You can even, I always have this awkward hand and it's like trying to strangle me. Looks like she has a little bit of a glossy lip. Tiny bit of a shimmer shadow. Just go straight down the nose. Right there, maybe a tiny bit right there. And there is your Maleficent. Awesome. Can you even see them? Oh my word, look at them like crisscrossing. They're like little witch legs.